Hi, I'm Helena, and I've seen The Office US from beginning to end in chronological order 6 times, and personally, I think that qualifies me to give you a definitive ranking of every single character that ever made like even the smallest impact on the plot of the show, so let's get into it. So let me take you through all of the different tiers. The first one for all of the elite characters is I feel like all my kids grew up and then they married each other is every parent's dream, which is Michael Scott's very last final line in the entire show. So it's very special, and so are the characters that are gonna go in this tier, obviously. The second best tier is I got 6 numbers, one more and it would have been a complete phone number. And like, yeah, Kevin, that's so true. You almost had it, but not quite. And it's the same for these characters. They were almost complete. And next up, we've got no, because the ice melts and then it's like a second drink. And like, yeah, Pam, that's technically true, but we all know the second drink is just not nearly as good. Like, it's just very watered down and I'm not that big of a fan. But yeah, anyway. And then we've got, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. Pretty iconic quote by Mr. Michael Scott. I don't know what to tell you about it. And then as the second to last tier, not a great one, is why are you the way that you are? Which again is an iconic quote said by Michael Scott about you know who. And at the very bottom we've got I don't hate it, I just don't like it at all, and it's terrible. Yeah, that's for the most despicable characters. Speaks for itself, obviously. So the first character that we're going to be ranking is a difficult one because oh boy, he's messy, he's a wreck. So it is Mr. Andy Bernard, the Nard dog, yeah. And personally, I think that Andy is like, when he's at his peak, he's like one of the best characters. He's like definitely in top 3 of my favorite characters. But then he's also got his very, very horrible moments, and by that I mean obviously towards the end of the show in season 9 when he just like went completely rogue and was horrendous. Like, oh my god, the defecating on Wallace's car. What the hell? Why did the writers do that? I don't know. So I love good Andy, peak Andy, and by that I mean like around season 4-ish when he was engaged to Angela. I thought that was hilarious and very funny, and he was just like a great character around that time. But then, you know, the other stuff, it just really, really weighs him down. So I'm gonna have to put him in, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious, okay? And speaking of, next up we've got Miss Angela Martin, and I feel like this woman is a controversial character, and I might be making a controversial decision right now, but I'm gonna put her in, I've got 6 numbers, because that's just what I truly believe she is. She's so messy, so hypocritical, such an absolute wreck, and she's so judgmental, and I love every single bit of it. Obviously, she's not like every parent's dream because she's not that great, right? She didn't contribute that much to the show. I don't know, but she's a good character. I'm a fan. I like Angela Martin, okay? And the third character that we will be ranking today is arguably a little bit irrelevant, but I would say that he made quite a bit of impact on the show, but indirectly. And the character that we're going to be ranking is none other than Bob Vance Refrigeration. Yeah, and the way that I mean he kind of made an impact indirectly is that we just learned a lot about him and Phyllis and their relationship through Phyllis. She just talked a bunch about her and Bob, and we learned that Miss Phyllis is a bit of the freak. Yeah, anyway, so I would say that I am a little stitious of this guy, but not superstitious because I think he's pretty cool. I don't mind him, but I don't know. We just don't really know that much about him. That's why he's gonna go in that category, okay? Yeah, and fourth character, also arguably quite a bit, well, you know, not super important, but it is Carol Stales. I firmly believe that this woman is a second to drink, and the reason why I feel that way is because I really like Carol Stales. Okay, I think she's great. She had kind of like a good impact on Mr. Michael Scott. Yeah, can't really complain about what she did, and she grounded him in a way. I appreciate that, and obviously Michael was a bit crazy towards her, which was weird, but that's not her fault. And also, she's married to Steve Carell in real life, so I can't do anything but like her. But again, we don't really know that much about her. So yeah, second drink, okay? That's why. And this next character, I think it's no surprise that I'm gonna put this girly pop, Kathy, in the and it's terrible category because obviously she's terrible. We all know what she did. I'm not gonna elaborate on it because I'm just gonna get mad. Like, what is your problem? Why are you the way that you are? I'm not gonna put her in that category, but like that description also fits her perfectly, but she's terrible, so ew, the lowest of the low. Get out of here, shut up, right? And now this guy right here, what's his name again? Hold on, Charles Minor is his name. That is how much this man means to me. I've seen this show 6 times and I could not even remember his name, okay? He is scum, he does not mean anything. And also, why are you the way that you are? That category fits him perfectly, and he's gonna go in that one because literally, why did you have such a vendetta against Jim? So stupid, literally, shut up. And next up, we've got this guy, Clark, from season 9. And he really, I don't care about him at all. Like, literally, who are you? I don't know. Don't really care either. I'm just gonna put you in why are you the way that you are. I don't really care for him. And the, what, like 6th or something? No, 7th, I think. I've lost count. But the next character is Mr. Creed Bratton. I love this man. I honestly wish that we got to see more of him, but I'm gonna put him in one more number because he has some wonderful one-liners, but also he creeps the hell out of me. So, oof, yeah, that's a little. You know what? I think I'm gonna put him in second drink because now that I think about it, yeah, he creeps me out a little bit too much to be in almost a complete phone number. But my man, Daryl Philpin, I love him so much. He's definitely gonna be in almost a complete phone number because I think he's so great. And throughout most of the series, I really wish we had gotten to see more of him, and I'm so glad that he became a much bigger part of the show in the later seasons. And honestly, he's like one of the only things holding the show together and kind of like making the last 2 seasons even somewhat watchable because his presence just elevates it quite a lot. But I mean, also towards the end of the show, I feel like the writers kind of gave up on him and made him someone that he's not really been throughout the rest of the show. Like his weird dumping of Val, I don't know, he tried to make Val dump him out of nowhere even though he had tried to get her for so long. It just did not make any sense to me. It felt very un-Daryl, so no, that's so weird. He's definitely not going to go in every parent's dream for that reason, but I do love him, and I love his whole black man phrases that he taught Michael. That was hilarious, and I love his way of just like being the only character who called Michael Mike. Yeah, anyway, great guy, love him. So, David Wallace, I feel like he was a very solid guy all throughout the show, and he was just like a respectful man, so I'm gonna put him in second drink. Not much else to be said about him, okay? He's not that important. And then we've got, oh goodness, this idiot boy, D'Angelo Vickers. I feel so angry whenever I look at his stupid face. I don't really understand why he was added as a part of the show. I don't really feel like he added anything but annoyance, so he's definitely gonna be in And It's Terrible, because he is terrible, and I'm glad he was in that accident, okay? But now, finally, after having ranked, what, I don't know, like 11, 12-ish characters, we are finally going to be putting a character in the every parent's dream category. Dwight Schrute. I love this man so much. He's just so great throughout the entire show. He's just such a light and really annoying and so horrible towards other people, and I like him a lot. He's great. He's definitely the heart of the show. One of the many hearts. As you're gonna see later on, I'm gonna put a lot of people in this category because I like a lot of the characters a lot, okay? And this character right here, Erin Hannon, she is such an absolute sweetheart. It should be protected at all costs because she's amazing. I love Erin. The only qualm that I have with her is that I feel like the writers just made her a little bit too stupid at times where it was not necessary. So I'm definitely not gonna put her in every parent's dream. I think I'm gonna put her in, not almost a complete phone number, but in second drink because she's cool, but she's not that cool, right? She's not as good as the first drink. The first drink was Pam, I guess. And speaking of Pamela, oh my goodness, obviously she's gonna go in the first category. She is literally the definition of every parent's dream. I love Pam so much. The only thing that I'm not so much of a fan of about her is that I honestly don't think her art is that good. I'm sorry, I really just don't. She's not that good at it, okay? I understand why she failed art school, but also I'm glad that she did not turn out like other people who failed art school. Thanks for not doing that, Pam. That's incredible. And this guy right here, Gabe Lewis, obviously he's gonna go in Why Are You the Way That You Are. I feel like he was in the show for what, maybe like 4 seasons or something, and he was a fairly large part of the show, but like not really. He was just not really that interesting, kind of gross, kind of scary. I don't know. I feel like the other characters kind of hated on him a little bit too much, but he just did not really make that much of an impact. So why are you the way that you are? I don't know. But next up is Helene Beasley, and she's definitely not gonna go next to her daughter. Absolutely not, because if Helene was my mom, I would definitely not forgive her for dating my boss, especially not if my boss was Michael Scott. Like, I love the man. You're gonna see that I love him, okay? He's not someone that you need to, like, betray your daughter to date. Oh my god, he's not worth that, okay? So for that reason, I'm gonna put her in I'm a little stitious, and the reason I'm not gonna put her lower than that is that Pam seems to really love her mom, so I respect that, okay? I do. Oh boy, I've got a lot to say about this woman. I don't know what the general consensus is about Holly Flax. I haven't really seen that many opinions about her on the internet, but I'm not a fan of her. I'm gonna put her in I am a little stitious. Throughout the entire, like, part of the show that she was in, like, on and off, I was just not convinced about her. I've always been kind of a little bit, you know? A little suspicious of her. I don't think that her and Michael go as well together as the writers want us to think, and I just kind of feel like the way that they showed her and Michael's humor being the same was a little bit forced, because that's not exactly how Michael's humor was when he was with other people. And I understand that you could, like, kind of argue that when he's around a woman that he likes, he gets a little bit giddy and, like, nervous and awkward. I'm just not that much of a fan of Holly, and that's not just because she's the reason that Michael left the show, although I do have a grudge against her for that exact reason. And although I could obviously see that she was the best match for Michael out of all the women that he dated in the show, I feel like the chair model might have been a better match for him. But she was dead, so oh well. I guess Holly is fine, but she's just not that great. I'm not convinced, okay? Hold on, sorry for interrupting the video, but I've got something I need to tell you. So I actually recorded this video about a month and a half ago, and the reason why I'm not posting it until now is because when I went to go edit it, I was like, yeah, no, this is never ever gonna see the light of day. This is the worst thing that has ever been recorded. And I felt so insecure about it because I was like, I'm not entertaining. This is so bad and I'm awkward and it's so long and drawn out and no one's ever gonna want to watch it. But honestly, if I'm being, like, completely honest, the primary reason why I did not want to post it was because I was like, I'm the ugliest thing that has ever existed and nobody should ever see my face ever. So I didn't want to post it. And it wasn't until, like, maybe a week ago that I actually decided to just not be insecure, not let my insecurities win, and I decided that I actually wanted to finish this video. So I'm doing that now, and I've decided to just, like, go ahead and post it, even though I'm not, like, 100% satisfied with this video, but it is the first thing that I'm posting on this channel, and, you know, gotta start somewhere, right? But I normally make Sims videos on another YouTube channel called Lacy, Lena, and I really love doing that. I mainly just, like, do Sims houses, and then I talk about my life and whatever the hell I want to talk about. But I've been wanting to branch out and do other types of content for a very long time, so that is why I finally decided to make this channel where I'm just gonna be talking about TV shows and whatnot that I like. So I hope that you guys wanna join me on that journey, yeah. And if you like The Sims, then please go subscribe to my other channel because I would really like that as well, okay? Anyway, I just felt the need to tell you guys about all of that, but back to former me, okay? Next up, the next character that we're gonna be ranking is another one of Michael's lovers, and I think it is absolutely no surprise that I am gonna be putting Jan Levinson in, and it's terrible because she's obviously terrible. This woman, oh my goodness, in the first couple of seasons, I thought she was pretty cool. She was, like, grounded and was normal-ish, and then they got together. And she's so not normal. Oh my goodness, this woman literally, like, abused this man. That's bad, okay? We don't like you. We hate you, honestly. You're terrible. So yeah, not a fan. But the next character is someone that I'm a lot more fond of, and that is Jim Halpert, Jimothy. And I am gonna put Jim in this category. Oh no, it's lacking. In the almost a complete phone number category, and not in the every parent's dream, because listen, I love this man a lot, and he gave me so many laughs throughout the show, and he brought so much heart and so much fun and goodness to this show, okay? But also, I just can't really forgive him for how not great he was towards Pam in the last season. That was just not that was not my cup of tea. And also, I obviously love all the pranks that he pulled on Dwight. Like, their dynamic is absolutely incredible and I love everything about it. But also, when you pull it back a few layers, how cool is it to prank and to basically bully the emotionally unstable guy who was obviously bullied throughout school and like throughout his entire life? Yeah, it's not really that cool. So I like it on the surface, but also when you kind of like dig a little deeper, it's just not that nice. But yeah, anyway, I love the man, so he's gonna go in not a complete phone number. Yeah. And this character right here, Jo Bennett, God, I don't even care for her. Like, she's just not very interesting. She's gonna go in Why Are You the Way That You Are, because that describes her pretty perfectly. I'm not a fan. And then we've got Karen Filippelli, and I feel like some people, as far as I've seen on like the internet and whatever, seem to dislike her quite a bit, but I'm a big fan of Karen. I think she's pretty great. And you know what, I'm gonna put her right next to Jim because I actually think she's that great. And is that because I really like her as Anne in Parks and Rec? Yeah, that might be it, but oh well, that's how I feel about her, okay? But Kelly Kapoor, oh my goodness, I love this woman. I think she might be my soulmate. I love her, I hate her. She's so annoying and the worst, but she's so great. I love this woman so much. She's got literally like everything that I love in a character. She's extremely messy, so chaotic, incredibly hypocritical, really stupid, and I just love everything about her. She's amazing. And I love the one-sided relationship or like friendship that her and Jim have in the early seasons. I think it's so cute and very endearing and also very funny. So anyway, I love Kelly, and also she's one of those characters that have been through phases throughout the show. Like, she obviously peaked from around season like 2 perhaps, and then until season 8 when she left the show. But in season 1 she was just like a very, you know, anonymous-ish background character. They hadn't really found her footing yet, and they hadn't really decided that she was going to be a chaotic queen. Next up, we've got Val from The Warehouse, and I do like Val. I think she's pretty cool. I like the little romance thing that Daryl and her had going on. And you know, the emotional cheating on her boyfriend was definitely morally questionable, but it worked out for the two of them in the end. And then Daryl went ahead and did that weird stuff, but it seems like they ended up being together, which is cool. However, I don't like her that much, and I'm gonna put her in the I am a little suspicious category because I just cannot forgive her for the way she did not react and do anything about the whole like mural incident. The guy that defaced Pam's mural in season 9, that was just not okay. Like, that's your responsibility to reprimand that idiot, okay? I just don't love the incompetence. Next up, we've got Kevin, and I do love this man. I really, really do. He's obviously gonna go in the I got 6 numbers or 1 more and it would have been a complete phone number category because that's his quote and it just suits him perfectly. He's just like missing one, or I suppose way more than 1 screw. But in that same breath, I do think that the writers at times did a little bit too much with the whole lack of intelligence thing. The same thing that they did with Aaron, and they just kind of like made him too stupid at times. And I feel like in the first couple of seasons he was not that dumb, and he definitely got way dumber as time went on. It's kind of like a Joey from Friends situation, but I still love the man, and he's just not a complete phone number. Yeah. And then we've got Meredith Palmer. I'm gonna put her in the I'm a little suspicious category. I'm not like a huge fan of Meredith. I think she's fun and she adds something nice and, you know, nice, good something to the show. But I don't know, sometimes I'm just a little bit grossed out by her and she's a little bit much, and for that reason I'm suspicious of her, okay? This guy right here, Mr. Michael Scott, obviously he's gonna go in the every parent's dream category. He is such an interesting character. Although, one thing that I will say about him, I will never ever forgive Steve Carell for leaving the show. That was criminal. The show just objectively took a huge nosedive the second he left, and I feel like I've never seen anything quite like it. I've seen shows that got real bad towards the end, but this one is one hell of a case of that. I still love every single moment that we got with this man. He's such an idiot. He sucks, but also he's really, really great and kind, and I'm a Michael Scott fan. The next character is Mose Shroot, and I'm gonna put him in second drink. I really like Mose. I think he's great. We did not really get to see him a lot. Like, this character really did not get a lot of screen time, but he did add quite a lot to the story because Dwight talks about him a bunch, and also the character is actually played by Michael Shore. Is that how you say his name? I don't know, don't remember, but the man behind a bunch of my favorite shows. So obviously I love Mose a lot. I think he's great. And then we've got Nate. I think Nate is funny. I'm gonna put him right here next to Mose, I would say. We obviously did not really get to see that much of him because he only entered the show in like season 8 probably. I believe it was season 8, and he was really not a big part of it, but I think he's funny and I like the parts of what we got to see of him. Yeah, he can't hear, but also he can hear, okay, remember that. So anyway, and then we've got Nellie Bertram. Oh my goodness, this woman, I'm gonna put her in Why Are You the Way That You Are, because I feel like that description just fits her perfectly. She's such a weird woman. Like, who raised you? Why did you think that you could just like go up and take somebody's job like that? I don't know, but you know what, also I do think that was kind of like a girl boss move, yeah. And also, how inspiring is that? Like, this woman literally said she does not have a formal education, she does not have any prior experience with anything like that, and then yet she just went in there and got the manager position at this stupid little branch in Pennsylvania. But like, still, that's so cool. Anyway, I like it. I appreciate her for that. But also, she's a bit of a weirdo and I can't really figure her out 100%, and she's kind of like annoying at times, so not a big fan, but I do like the way that she handled Toby. Speaking of, next up is Toby. I'm obviously going to put him in the Why Are You the Way That You Are category because that quote was famously said about him from Michael Scott, and it just sums him up. Like, why is he the way that he is? He's such a loser. No, I don't hate him that much, but I feel like I would be letting down my man, Mr. Michael Scott, if I put him any higher than that, so. And then we've got Oscar Martinez. I love this man. I think he's great. He's funny. He's grounded. He's kind of like just what you need, and I would argue that he is one of the hearts of this show. I really, really like him. He's obviously not one of the like main characters in the ensemble, but he's a really, really integral part of it, and I just really like him. And I keep saying that I just really like him, and that's why I like him, because I like him, because I can't really back up my claims any further, and that's just how that is, okay? But Pete, his name is apparently Pete Miller. I did not know about that. I only found out about that because I was Googling all the characters to prepare for this video. But yeah, I like him better than I like Clark. They came in at the same time, and I kind of get them a little bit confused because they're just like not really that important to the show. But I like him more than Clark because he doesn't really bother me as much, and also I kind of think that the moments that he and Aaron had, yeah, they were cute, okay? It was cute. I love a little innocent romance like that. It's kind of adorable, and I like how respectful he was of Aaron and her relationship status, so I'm not mad at him, but also he's just not that interesting, so I'm a little bit suspicious of him, I guess. Yeah, and then we've got Phyllis Vance. My goodness, she is gonna go next to, let me see. Yeah, Kevin. Next to Kevin, because I like Phyllis, and she is also like one of the hearts-ish of the show, but like, I don't love her that much, right? I don't feel like I need to elaborate any further on that. And now we've got Mr. Robert California right here. That's so lacky, I hate that. But yeah, Robert California, obviously he's gonna go in, and it's terrible. This man is such a strange man. I did not find him funny at all, really. Like, I think he had a lot of lines and screen time in season 8, but I honestly don't think I've ever really like laughed or even chuckled at whatever this man has said, so yeah, I'm just not a fan. I don't know if that's a me problem, whatever it is, but nah, he's gonna go in, and it's terrible. And then we've got Robert Lipton, the husband, the man that Angela married, who turned out to be gay, and then Oscar had a little relationship, a little affair with him on the side, and I'm gonna put him in a little suspicious of that category because I don't hate this man. I think he's pretty cool. I like him. I like the way he humbled Angela. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Angela, but also she needed to be humbled. But Roy Anderson, is obviously gonna go in and it's terrible because the man is terrible. He treated Pam horribly, spoke badly about her in front of her and behind her back, and he was about to attack Jim, so obviously he's the lowest of the low, right? And next up we've got Ryan Howard, and I think that this might be controversial of me, but I'm gonna put him in every parent's dream. Obviously he's definitely not every parent's dream. He's another one of those characters, just like Andy, that had a bunch of faces throughout the show and had so many different personalities in a way. He started out being so extremely grounded and then turned into the most chaotic, neurotic characters of all time. That's kind of crazy. I don't really, that's a wild development, but you know what? Unlike Andy, I don't think there was ever a moment where I did not like Ryan, although he was, you know, MIA for quite a few episodes throughout the series, so that was a little sad, but I do like him a lot. I think he's great. He's so chaotic, such an idiot. He thinks he's the best, but he's absolutely not, but he is the best. He's obviously in this category, so he's the best. That's how I feel about him, okay? But yeah, the penultimate character that we will be ranking is Stanley Hudson, and he is gonna go right here next to Phyllis, because I like Stanley. He's such a grump, or I mean, Phyllis did say in the finale that he's not a grump, because would a grump make one of those really scary things that he made for Phyllis, but I think he's a grump because he proved that many a times throughout the show, so that's how I feel about him, but that's okay. That's him, and I respect him for who he is, and I like him, okay? But that same thing cannot be said about our very last character, Todd Packer. That man is an idiot, and he's just not funny. Yeah, he's absolutely gonna go in the "and it's terrible" category. Obviously, he's not supposed to be a likable character in any way, shape, or form, so the writers definitely succeeded at that part of the writing of him, but also I feel like most of the characters in this show did make me laugh at some point or another, but I just never really found it funny when he was on screen or in an episode, so yeah. Anyway, I am not a fan of Todd Packer, okay? So that is how I feel about most of the characters in the show, although I did realize that I have forgotten about some characters that made an impact on the plot, and one of those people that I did forget about that I can remember right now is the camera guy. What's his name? Brian? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would have put him in like the "I'm a little stitious" category if you're curious, because I think he's kind of weird. That's, yeah. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please do give it a little like and subscribe to this channel if you would like to watch more of this kind of content in the future, because I would really like to make it, okay? Yeah, and also let me know in the comment section how wrong I am about all these characters and tell me your opinion, because I'm curious, okay? And please check out my Sims channel if you like The Sims, because I would really like to have you over there, okay? But anyway, thank you all so much for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate that. You know what you guys deserve right now? A hug, okay? So bring it in, everyone.